turn on the music a little bit. There we go. Hello, and welcome back to what?
No, I turned on the stream.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's good. I didn't have you turned up in the audio mixer yet, but now they can hear you. So don't say anything stupid. Because we're live, and we're live doing the Spoilercast. Yes, we're back. Was it last week? No, it was 2 weeks ago.
We skipped 1 week.
Yeah.
But we mentioned we might do that.
Yeah, we mentioned we might do that. Like we said, we're gonna do this as often as we can. But it's the worst time to bring back a movie podcast since there's no new movies. And that's why this week we're doing a TV show, or I guess Netflix show. But as always, I have to introduce my sister and the trusty co-host, Rebecca.
Hello.
And this week we're doing Spaceforce, the new show from the Office creators, I think it was. Or was it Parks and Rec?
I did not actually check.
I don't remember.
It's the new Netflix original, as far as I know.
Yeah, the new Netflix original, which
creators are actually Steve Carell and Greg Daniels.
Greg Daniels, right? I think Greg Daniels is one of the guys that made either The Office or Parks and Rec. I don't remember.
And Parks and Rec.
Oh, but okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
It does make sense, actually.
Yeah. This, however, is similar in a way that it's a workplace comedy, but it's not like a mockumentary style. It's actually a drama, as it's called.
Yeah.
And just right off the bat, like what? Because we watched the entire season since it's a Netflix show, we could see the whole thing right away. And I watched it in one sitting because I just turned it on one day after work. And 5 hours later, give or take, I was like, oh, that was 10 episodes. Well, how did you watch it?
While I work.
Okay.
I can dual, sort of.
Yeah, well, I started it right before I stopped working that day, so I did the same.
But my job is to work with emails and answer some calls. Your job is to make calls. So
yeah, make calls.
I think I saw like 3 episodes without distraction at all.
Okay.
At times. And then, of course, a phone call, and I had to stop. But, yeah, so it took me 2 days to go through it.
Right. And what was your initial... Did you have any... what was your expectations before watching it? Have you seen any of The Office and Parks and Rec?
The Office, yes. Parks and Rec, only a few episodes.
Okay.
But I mean, I know the style. I like the style, and that's one of those two. Well, at least The Office is one of the few TV shows that is actually funny.
Yeah.
To me.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I mean, compared to Big Bang Theory and How I Met Your Mother and all that, that's not funny. Not that concept isn't funny. This concept is.
Oh.
So, expectations somewhat high because I mean Steve Carell.
Yeah. Steve Carell back doing TV.
Yeah. But and I was pleasantly surprised, I have to say, even though my expectations were kind of high.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to hear. So you liked it.
Yes, because even if I have high expectations, I never expect to laugh. I never laugh at things like this. I never laugh at funny movies and shit. But this, I literally lolled.
Yeah. You laughed out loud. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good, because I've actually been reading... There hasn't been that many reviews of it yet, but I've seen some people I follow on hashtag Film Twitter. The worst part of Twitter? No, it's not, but... No, but yeah, film Twitter. I started following that because I want to get into like the know with smaller critics, and like networking. Yeah, it turns out it's a bunch of. Sorry, I've been very vocal about that for like months now. I fucking hate film Twitter. It's a bunch of film douchebags, is what it is.
Yeah, they're all pretentious and mean.
And they don't seem to realize that there were movies made before the 1990s. Like, oh my god, this fucking movie from 2015, it's the greatest movie I've ever seen. But have you seen? you don't even have to get obscure. Like, oh, have you seen I don't know, The Godfather? I mean, I've seen that, but no.
Yeah, I know.
And some people, sorry for going off on a tangent here, but I just
It's fine. It's fine.
yeah. Some people will literally not even as a joke, like seriously say that no, like movies before 1980 or something doesn't count anymore. Like, what? What are you talking about? People don't generally agree with them, but people like that exist on film Twitter, and I just So
yeah, but that's like
I always used to use hashtag film Twitter when I wanted to promote a video or something, and now I stopped doing that, and I use it like to troll or mock instead. That's more fun. So I follow like a select few people from film Twitter that I think are level-headed and know what they're talking about. And a lot of those were like not very positive towards this, and I didn't really get it. They were like, "Oh, it's not funny."
That you replied to. I haven't seen that much.
Yeah, it was mainly that one, but it was also the whole thread after that, and I read a couple more tweets after that, and I was like, "Oh, I was surprised because I didn't think it was hilarious, but I thought it was a good show."
Yeah.
I didn't laugh that much. But it wasn't because I was bored. It was just, I saw it more as like an engaging story, with some haha moments. But it wasn't it wasn't laugh out. Like, it wasn't like Black Books or Seinfeld for me. I didn't laugh. Oh, I actually have my Kramer shirt on. That was not planned. I didn't think of that.
Black Books,
yeah.
Black Books, yeah. And so that's a whole other level of comedy.
Yeah, that's top 3 comedy.
Yeah, and another genre of comedy, another type of comedy.
Well, yeah, of course. Together. But I mean, all comedy shares that you should actually laugh at it or with it or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And this, there were a few chuckles. I can't there's no like joke that really stands out.
I have one scene that just I could not stop. The one in the war room when oh god, I don't remember which episode it's in. Actually, there's like 2 of them. Any scene in the war room when all the higher up generals get together, and they make fun of the Navy. No, not the Navy.
Oh, the Coast Guard.
The Coast Guard.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
Because every person in there is hilarious on their own.
Yeah, and you have a
together, and it feels it's
comedic actors.
And it's just they play characters that are just them. They play themselves more or less. Yeah, it seems like.
What is it? It's
the characters are always.
Jane Lynch. What's his name?
I just don't. Oh my god.
I should have pulled up.
Think of the kid show he's in. What kid show? I don't know.
Which
Tick. The Tick.
Oh, right. Patrick Warburton. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I almost forgot about him. Yeah, Patrick Warburton, Noah Emmerich, who plays Grabaston, which they never made the joke about his last name. They hinted at it, but he didn't do it. That was hilarious that he didn't get the joke when they even pointed out to him, like, make fun of his last name. It's Grabass. All right, okay, that was pretty funny.
Hey, your game, turn it down. No, you can. Yeah, sort of can.
Yeah.
And we have
Diedrich Bader, yeah, and Jane Lynch. But what is his name? The guy from According to Jim's Värld. What's his name?
The brother. Yeah, Larry Joe Campbell.
Yes, he plays the Coast Guard.
He doesn't have a name in it.
No,
he's only commandant of the Coast Guard. Everyone else is like general or major or chief or something. No, he's just commandant of.
Because they're making fun of him. Yeah, Larry Joe Campbell. Right.
Just a bunch of comedians.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun. There weren't
great.
There weren't that many of them though. It's like
no, that was a shame.
It's like 3 or 4.
I thought they could have had a few, yeah. And I mean, one of them wasn't that much fun because the lawyer dude from the White House just took over, and okay, that one was
Yeah,
boring.
I like him too, though. He's from what's it called? Veep. Veep is a pretty good show. I like most TV shows. I thought it like stopped being funny, so I didn't watch the last 1 or 2 seasons. But that's just me. But I mean, you know what Veep is, right? About the vice president. Yeah.
I'm trying to see it, but I never.
No, it's an HBO comedy, so it's different. But I think it's very funny. And he plays like a Speaker of the House something. There's too many political like jargon stuff in that show, but he plays a similar kind of character who has a little too much power and likes to like flaunt it.
Okay.
So yeah, he's very funny in that show as well.
I don't know if he has too much power in this one. He just has to tell them what the president said and let's do this. That's what's gotta be done.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think his thing in Veep was that he actually worked in the White House, while the others worked in the house beside the White House. It's kind of like that thing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like other than that, like I said, I don't really laugh out loud, but I found a lot of the characters very engaging and funny. Like Ben Schwartz was probably my favorite in the show. He
Tony.
Yeah, what's the original, because that's based on a real like social media person.
I don't
called like Fuck Jerry or something. There was a big thing where he stole people's tweets, like jokes on Twitter, and posted them on his Fuck Jerry account, something like that. And he got famous off of those. Something like that. And he was called Fuck something, but not Fuck Tony. I don't think it was Fuck Tony.
Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, Fuck Jerry. On Instagram it was. Right.
Oh yeah, I remember
that must be a reference to that.
Probably.
But he's become one of my favorite like comedians or funny people over the last few years. I don't know.
I haven't seen him much though.
I've seen Parks and Rec, and I've seen some like smaller stuff he's made in movies and like bit parts in TV shows. And then I think he nailed voicing Sonic in the Sonic movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's a pretty good movie. You should check out my review.
Oh, maybe I should. No, I don't want to check out your review before.
Yeah, I don't.
You know I don't like.
Yeah, but I don't spoil anything.
I am.
And then
he's in BoJack Horseman as well. Huh.
Yeah.
I cannot pronounce that.
BoJack Horseman.
Rabidowitz.
I don't know. But then I also thought Jimmy O Yang was very funny as the scientist guy.
Chan.
Yeah, Chan. John Malkovich was a great character. He was a lot of fun. Like, once again, I didn't laugh out loud, but everything he said was like, because he was so sardonic and sarcastic.
Yeah.
It kind of went over the head of Steve Carell's character, which I thought was very funny. So I thought the show was very engaging. Not just in a comedic way, but like the characters were engaging, and that kept me watching. There were a few things I didn't really like. First of all, what's her name now? Jesus, Lisa Kudrow, playing
the wife and
playing Steve Carell's wife. Who
that didn't make sense to me.
No, and people were asking about that, and I was wondering too. Like, they never she all of a sudden in the second episode, spoilers, she's in prison for like 40 years or something. They mentioned
40 to 60 years.
Yeah, and I was like, did I miss something?
They don't mention why. Not at all.
Like, are they gonna mention? They never mention it, but she ends up in prison because there's a 1-year gap between the first and second episode.
When they move from, I think they're in Washington or something.
Out to,
and they move to
Big Horse.
Denver, I don't know.
Yes, Colorado.
Colorado, that's the one.
And yeah, she's just in prison, and I don't know. I kind of get why, so that
I don't. I
but
mean, I get, but I
it's so that he has to take care of his daughter as well as the Space Force. It's that kind of thing, putting pressure on him, or may, but it's not
they
enough.
don't
Like,
act on that enough for it to be a thing until like the last 2 episodes.
no, that's true. Um, so
Because in the first, I think in the first or second episode, you see like one time they sit down and try to do homework together.
yeah, like yeah, it's a weird plot contrivance, and I haven't looked it up. Like, if there's a reason for it, maybe she like the schedule became like changed and she was doing another show or something. I don't know, but it feels like she got kind of written out of the show.
No, maybe they just wanted to make this because he's the sort of all-American army dude who has the wife, the kid, the house kind of thing. He has his life put together. He's gonna get promoted, and he gets his own. He's gonna get his own like entity to take care of the Space Force, and then, well, the Space Force is a laughing joke, and so is his life is not this all-American family kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe, I
I
don't know.
think that's sort of like mirroring or exaggerating that like lack of being what you think it would be.
But they don't even tell us why she's in prison.
No, because that would have helped. Like, if did she riot? Did she kill someone? Did she? I don't know. What the hell do you do to deserve 40 to 60 years in prison?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless it's manslaughter.
Yeah, I don't
As
know.
far as I know. I
May,
mean,
maybe.
or maybe she broke into Area 51 or something. I don't know. You probably get life.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know. Um,
they could have mentioned it at least.
yeah, but see, exactly. They should have mentioned it at least. I don't know.
They don't have to tell us exactly what she did, but like, when your mom went to that place or something.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so that was a weird thing, and there was one character that I didn't like at all. I thought all characters were more or less likable, even the ones we're not supposed to like Grab Aston. He was still funny, but
Okay.
I couldn't stand the daughter. I think I'm just getting too old to appreciate like angsty teenagers, because like, shut the fuck up, you child, you don't know anything, when she's complaining. That was all I could think, because she just put herself in these dumb situations because she thought she was being like poorly treated or something. I don't know, and I could not stand her.
That is mean because he ripped her from her friends in DC and she had to go live in this redneck hole.
But they don't even establish that. Like, they make her out to be like a weirdo from the beginning. Like, she didn't. The way I see it, she didn't have any friends in Washington. She was an outcast there, probably. Like, they at least had to show us then. I mean, we're supposed to get it because teenagers are always like that. But she can't just say, "Oh, my friends, I'd leave them behind." What friends? We didn't see any friends.
Show her looking at pictures of her and her friends.
Yeah, something. Or like, it's the fucking 2020s. You can talk to people over the internet. Like, show her talking to her old friends or something. But instead,
you don't even. I mean, she's on her phone, but you don't see her like checking out their Insta stories or something.
Yeah, and then her like, not even instead of trying to reach out to new people, she just instantly disregards them as like hicks just because they live in Colorado. But I mean, it's like, Colorado's, first of all, it's the first state that legalized marijuana. It should, like, you're a teenager, you should be happy about that. There should be one bunch of weird hippies you can hang out with. Instead, the only people she finds are crackheads in like the last episode. Yeah, the only people she manages to reach out to are crackheads. Good work, idiot. You're in Colorado. I guess she's stuck in this, what is it, Wild Horse, Big Horse, or whatever. Like, maybe it's a smaller town. It's not Denver, Colorado, but
no.
But still,
but I mean, she goes to. You can see that she's in school. there's a bunch of students there. You don't see cowboy boots and hats walking around. You see regular kids. Okay, some of them are not very bright.
Yeah.
There's always going to be that student who isn't very bright. I mean, come on.
But then
So I
there's
don't see why she can't try.
yeah, and then they try to write that off in the second episode, I think, or third, when she is walking around the compound with the helicopter pilot, the woman who wants to become a
Angela
astronaut.
Ali.
Yeah, exactly.
Captain Angela Ali.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought they would build on that more as well.
Yeah, exactly. And you have the two guys from her high school who become space cadets or spacemen, as it's supposed to be called. Yeah. They're infantrymen in the army. They're seamen in the Marines, and here at Spaceforce we're spacemen. Anyway, and they make fun of her for something. They call her like
crap,
dip or crack or something. Crap.
Look, scraps. My mic did not pick that up.
Oh, scraps. Right, scraps.
I should move it closer.
And then she Ali asks her like, "Oh, what's that about?" And she just, "Oh, you don't have to tell me." And they never mention why she's like,
why is she scraps?
Yeah, what is scraps? And like, yeah, okay, it's those two guys, but is she an outcast in school then? They don't build enough on that character for me to care about her.
It's just like it, someone else no, maybe the same dudes mention it again later on, but
yeah, oh yeah, it's just those two. We don't see any other kids from the school.
No, that's true.
So I don't know. I couldn't stand her, and like
they could have
when the parents finally figure out what they're gonna do with their relationship, since they both want to stay married, but you know, since she's gonna be stuck there for at least 40 years, they're gonna have to date other people. For the the needs,
company and all that.
Exactly. And I thought they handled that very, very well. And like in a very progressive way, not non-ironically, a very progressive way of having a relationship or a marriage, separated like that. It's like, oh, that's really great. And then the daughter, who's she's the teenager. She's not even a millennial. She's like generation, what is it? X? No.
Z
or Generation Z. Like, she should be all for stuff like that, but she's like, oh my god, you're cheating on mom. And he never even tries to explain it to her. That was a little annoying. And then
she doesn't get the chance though.
I know.
She storms off
and then she like starts drinking and gets fired, and I was like, what is your problem? You're in high school. Like, you don't have any problems. Stop being such a whiny little bitch. She annoyed me so much. I couldn't stand her. Not the actress. She's good. I've seen her in something else before. But the character, I just couldn't stand her.
She didn't add much to the show.
No.
Except for being like a mid-roll, sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
Just to give you a break from the war on China or whatever it was.
Yeah. It ended kind of weird with them trashing each other's bases on the moon. I thought they were gonna do something more like funny with that, like, oh, they trashed the Chinese, or they would walk into the Chinese moon base and realize that it's all a facade. It's basically just four walls and a roof, and they just slapped it together and forced people to go up there, because they show they have the clip on the from the internet, like, oh, this is the inside of the Chinese base, and someone points out that doesn't at all look like safe for the moon, for space, or something like that. So, and I was like, oh, it's gonna turn out it's a scam or a sham, that there's not really a Chinese moon base. They just put up 4 walls and a roof, and that would be like kind of the thing. But instead, now both teams are stranded up there. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it just seemed. I mean, I get it. It was rushed, and that's why nothing works. But it just seems like, would you really do that? Would you really rush sending people to space like that?
Once again, shouldn't generalize here, but China and Russia are kind of known for that. They want to be
No,
better
I'm
than.
thinking about America. Actually, I'm thinking about America in this case. General Mark Naird. Like, I
Oh.
know the president tweeted that he wants boobs on the moon. Um,
Yeah, boobs
but
on the
like,
moon by 2024.
yeah, but like, no. How can you send up a team of one is technically trained, two are in training, and the rest are what, stowaways?
Well, I don't know if they didn't do their research, but NASA has actually, they said last year, they said, we will have, what was they said? We will go to the moon to stay there in 2024. I could pull up the video now where they promise that. That's not the president saying that. That is something that they said because they're
Yeah,
technically
but how
they're
long
a
have
government.
they been working on this?
Well, they I don't know, but they announced it last year.
Because I mean,
So
the
they gave
Mars One
themselves.
project has been in the works for like 10 years almost now, and they've been training people since they started. Basically, they've been selecting people very carefully.
Yeah, well, NASA has never had any competition, so they have never had to work fast.
And now they do.
Yeah, now they do because of SpaceX.
Yeah.
Who started from scratch and is now looking to launch. They launched people to the ISS the other day.
Yeah.
And they started from scratch in 2002, something like that. Right after
NASA's been around for centuries. Well, no, decades.
Not centuries, but yeah, almost a century. Pretty soon it's gonna be a century. Yeah, in like 20 years or something. But still, no, not 20 years. 40 years. I don't know. Whatever.
Decades, at least decades.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not centuries. Decades.
So it's not unfeasible. I mean, it's supposed to be like a crazy project because the president in this show is, they never mention Trump, but we kind of get that they are the way
Trump.
He reacts and the way he tweets all the time. It's supposed
and the
to be
mention
Trump.
that he's tweeting like on his own, sort of.
Yeah, exactly.
The only president that I know of that has been allowed to tweet on his own.
Yeah. Well, he tweets from his private account. He doesn't tweet the White House account or POTUS account.
No, that's true.
But yeah, so it's a crazy idea, but it's not like it's not like a fantasy. Like,
no, but considering the Spaceforce project, I think they started like, it's supposed to be modern day, like today, like 2020.
Yeah, Space Force became a thing last year, I think. I don't know. I don't think they had worked on it for very long. Yeah, Space Force is a thing now.
Yeah, that's true. I almost forgot that. Actually.
So they put this show together pretty fast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like we mentioned before we started the podcast, the Spoilercast, I think, that it feels like it's just one long movie technically.
Yeah.
Just separated.
Yeah.
So maybe they just wrote one long script and then, added bits and pieces there. You didn't really have to work on it that long, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Because it's also kind of a sort of a contained set. You don't have that many different.
No, yeah, most things take place in the Space Force compound or the base.
The base.
Yeah, and I also think that is part of Greg Daniels' thing with his shows.
True.
Parks and Rec takes place mostly in that government building. The Office takes place in an office, except for some small parts. But yeah, so I think that's his thing. And I kind of like that. If you're gonna do a sitcom, like most sitcoms do that,
Isn't that what a sitcom is supposed to be?
What?
Isn't that what a sitcom is supposed to be? You have sitcom stands for situational comedy.
Stands for situational comedy, but it's usually that it takes place in the same place, but it's different situations.
Yeah.
I think that's what sitcom, like the
Description of it, sort of.
yeah, the description of a sitcom is. I mean, that's what you have in How I Met Your Mother. You have the bar. In Cheers, you have the bar. Friends have the coffee house. You have the central location, and then you have a couple of secondary, tertiary sets.
Locations.
Yeah, locations, right. Big Bang Theory is another one. It's always their apartments or at school, and then a couple of others sometimes. The only show that kind of breaks that, once again, is Seinfeld. Because they had, like, instead of, like, 2 or 3 locations per episode, they, like, usually had, like, 7 or 8 per episode. And they weren't always the same. Because it was written by people who didn't know how to write sitcoms, which I think is very funny.
But they do have the main.
Oh yeah, of course. They have
2 or 3 places. You have
Jerry's apartment,
the diner.
The diner, yeah. But then that's about it. That are the most.
Two are the, like, main.
Other than that, there's always new ones each episode.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what makes it so fucking good. Anyway, enough talk about Seinfeld. We should do a spoilercast on Seinfeld. Make you watch all 9 seasons of Seinfeld.
I have watched all 9 seasons of Seinfeld.
Okay.
But it's been a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a while. I used to watch it all the time. But
I mean, it still goes on TV sometimes, and we can put it on. But, it's middle of an episode, or it's not cohesive because you don't, sometimes, the episodes are back to back, but no, they don't make sense.
Yeah. Anyway, Spaceforce.
Spaceforce. Yeah, I had one issue with 2 characters. I didn't mind the daughter. I mean,
no, but you're closer to a teenager than what I am, so
it's 4.5 years between us. Come on.
Yeah, but I'm saying, give it. Wait until you're 30. You're gonna start hating teenagers. Those dang kids.
I'm not a fan of teenagers now, but I understand why they wrote her character the way they did.
I do too.
It's a classic American teen who's been uprooted and had to move to some.
I just thought it was a little much.
Backyard state. I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit exaggerated. I mean, she looks like she's a grunge kid, and she colors her hair, and yeah, it's a bit much. She should have just, like, fallen for that Duncan dude, and they would have become, like,
I loved him. He was such a nice guy, and all she did was make fun of him because he's from the South.
No, she didn't make fun of him.
She like
in the beginning, yes, but in the end, she was like, okay, that's kind of cute.
Yeah, but the first thing she says to him, I don't remember exactly, but she calls, oh, you're from. Like Racistville abortion town or something. It was like, oh, really? That's tacky. He's just trying to be nice, and you don't know if he's like that.
And he's trying so hard.
Some people call that racist. not racist, but prejudiced.
Prejudice, yeah. And he's trying so hard to be a good guy, to learn her ways, so to speak.
Yeah.
And get with her and not make her feel alienated.
Yeah.
Because she already is alienated. Obviously, she feels like she doesn't fit in, and he's trying to, like, adapt to her.
Yeah.
Which is so sweet. Because boys don't do that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, when he started, like, which they kind of turned into a weird, funny, but kind of took it too far. When he had read an article, not a book, but an article, and he's like, oh my god, you've read something? Like, yes, I have. But it turns out he had been reading conspiracies and just got weirder and weirder. It's like, oh, it was so sweet at first. I was literally like, oh, I kind of fell in love. But then it's, so now he's a weirdo conspiracy theorist. They don't develop that, so it's just a joke. But they kind of ruined that scene.
No, I don't think they portrayed him like that. I was just like. No, he was just trying to read something interesting that he could talk about.
Yeah. It was just that,
and he didn't realize how weird that was.
No. But it kind of ruined the sweetness of that scene. That now he's reading about eugenics and UFOs and stuff. It's like,
I just liked it how in the first scene he's like, I got it. I'm getting on some acai, and then the second time he sees her, he's like, I realized I pronounced it wrong, and it's Asai.
Yeah.
There's an instant. He's trying so hard.
And she just made fun of him. I was like, you stupid baby.
She made fun of him for wanting Captain Crunch on his Asai.
When that is a thing they serve, it's like.
Exactly. It's like, why do you serve it if it's so weird?
Welcome to McDonald's, sir. You had like a Big Mac. Oh my god. Okay, weirdo.
Yeah.
You're at McDonald's. You get a Big Mac.
You can't make fun of something that you sell.
Exactly.
Well, but yeah.
Anyway,
that wasn't. I can understand the character. I can not really understand the need of her to be in the show because she didn't add much. She was a mid-role. The two characters I really did not understand why they had, and they really bothered me, actually, was the two people that went up in space. The girl was called Ranatunga. I don't know how to say her name. And
yeah, the weirdo groundskeeper or whatever he was. That they just picked because I don't know. I've seen her in she was in Master of None, and I think she plays the exact same character there.
Wait, I said the wrong person. It's not. I mixed up my people. I'm sorry, that's not her name.
But you meant
the one we're talking about, yes. But I said the wrong name.
Oh, okay.
What the hell was she?
Well, she's only...
No, she was Bella Pat. I don't know how to say that name either. I think they actually... I accidentally said one of the doctors, but they didn't put doctor.
Yeah.
Like, got them mixed up.
Yeah.
And the dude, I don't know who he was. Eddie or something.
Yeah, Pelabat. Yeah, that's her, yeah. Aparna Nancherla. Yeah, I saw her in Master of None, and she played basically the same character, but not as stupid. She just had the same delivery, which is kind of funny that she said, oh, whatever. She can say anything nonchalantly. And like...
Sure, that bit was fun, but they went too close to full retard.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if they just... they cast her because that's her cadence, that's how she talks. And that's kind of what's funny, so... I don't know. Yeah,
two characters, both are being totally brainless.
Yeah, it was weird. There was some, but I mean, it is a comedy, and it is ultimately the show is supposed to poke fun at Spaceforce.
True.
So that they make moronic decisions and send people like that up into space. That's kind of part of the joke.
You didn't need to have two derps in the show. Yeah. I mean, she's not even in the show until they choose her to go up in space.
Yeah, no, I know.
So they just added her because they wanted another derp.
Yeah, basically.
Which is just no. You could have sent take the lunch lady or something.
Yeah, but I mean, I think she had some sort of because they needed someone who could work plumbing, which was him, and she was supposed to be good at something. I don't know. I actually don't know.
Exactly. We don't even know what she's good at. They just picked her as a seat filler.
Yeah, I guess.
Those two characters I felt were really unnecessary.
Yeah, they were just added to ruin when they got up to space. They sent to not in the reality of the show, but when they were writing the show, they just needed two characters that could fuck up in space, basically.
But they didn't even fuck up.
No, that's true.
See, that's the thing. Yeah. The only time those two were funny was when the launch was happening.
Yeah,
because you had the Eddie dude trying to get out of his seat.
That's it.
And,
I'm out here.
She brought her bird.
Oh yeah. That was annoying. Like when they willfully insert kooky characters. Yeah.
That was the only purpose of those two, because they were kind of clever when it came to like when they were in space. And Eddie even mentions like, I don't know who the dumbass was that packed 200 wrenches.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't him.
No.
That would have made sense if it was him, but it wasn't. It was someone else.
Yeah. So yeah, they felt forced. Those
Yeah.
characters felt forced. I agree. One thing I did like though, which I mentioned briefly, was that the show is about making fun of Spaceforce. That's the whole joke. Like, Spaceforce is a joke. And it's like subtly poking fun at President Trump for creating Spaceforce.
Yes.
But I'm glad that Spaceforce wasn't like the butt of every joke. Like the show actually, each episode ended with Spaceforce doing something right. And I was glad, because I thought it was just gonna be like making fun of Spaceforce and making fun of Trump, but it was very nuanced, and while they did poke a lot of fun at that, they did it tastefully, and they did it very funny, I think.
Yeah.
Because it could just be like, like every character could have been what's it called? A caricature, and like Steve Carell's character could have been this stupid like right-wing racist character, but he wasn't. He was trying,
very progressive,
kind of progressive, trying to be more progressive. Yeah. So I thought the show was very nuanced when it came to that, but they still managed to like poke a lot of fun at Space Force, which is people made a lot of fun over that when they first announced Space Force was going to become a thing. But it kind of makes sense, and they do mention that in the show, that space is becoming like more and more like a viable like piece of land, resource for other nations. And we have all the the internet is up there, all communication is up there. Like the way a nation patrols its borders and its coasts, Coast Guard, Army. Now we need something up there as well, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
it's just the name Space Force sounds a little, but same.
Sounds a little silly.
But it's what you can't call it you could call it the Space Navy, but anything with space sounds ridiculous.
Yeah,
but it's
that's why NASA is NASA and not national. You don't say the space.
No, but it's not even in the name. It's national.
Oh, that's true. It's not even
National
in the name.
Aerospace something.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
See.
And I mean, yes. But they could have changed the name, but yeah,
a bit ridiculous.
I've started watching just the last couple of weeks. Started watching a lot of old Star Trek, like the old original series, and they mentioned like, it's not all the time, but sometimes they have like space something. It's like, oh my god. But they say it like seriously, it's like, we're having a space battle, or we're gonna use the space computer. It's like, oh my, no, don't say that, because it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I thought they handled that very well, and it actually became they made Space Force like lovable.
Yes.
Something you could actually like root for
through their characters.
Yeah, exactly.
I had the first episode, the first few moments, it took me a while to realize that it took place in modern days, to be honest. When he's walking into the office with his wife and his daughter, and they're all dolled up, and he's gonna receive the 4th star.
Yeah.
The dresses of his wife and daughter, and the fact that, like, okay, I mean, uniforms are uniforms. They've looked similar.
They're pretty timeless. Yeah.
Decades.
Yeah.
I just like, okay, this feels like it's maybe the 50s. And then he says something really progressive towards Grabiston, and I was like,
yeah,
wow, really? And then, cell phones. Okay, it's 2020.
Yeah.
Because that was the first thing that, I'm generalizing again, but an American general is progressive. Because I think he mentioned something about Grabiston being misogynist or something.
Yes, yeah.
And I was like, wow, really?
Yeah, he makes
that's a good tone, actually, for the character.
He makes like a tampon joke or something. And he says it's in very poor taste. I was like, oh, that was really funny.
And Nair corrects him like,
Yeah, exactly.
In a good way, like in a good way as well. It's not just, oh, you stupid.
Yeah,
Like you
exactly.
sort of expect him to do, but
That's how
I
you. That's how you tell a good offensive joke. You make fun of the one being offensive.
yes.
That's something that shows need to do more, because you can be offensive because you make fun of the offensive thing. Anyway, see,
I think that set a good tone of the character nerd. General nerd? Was it?
yeah, he's
Yes,
he's
general,
he's a
general
general,
nerd. Yeah,
4-star general.
Yeah. Which he kind of lose that progressiveness from time to time, but then he
Well,
regains it
yeah,
in other
because
situations.
he's not actually progressive. He's trying to be more
Yeah.
progressive. So I like that character.
See, that makes him seem more realistic.
Exactly.
Actually.
He's not overly progressive, super PC, and he's not like a Ku Klux Klan member just because he works for the government. He's
No.
somewhere in between, like a real person.
Yeah, like a real person.
Yeah.
So I really liked him, and I mean, you had the show in general is very progressive, to be honest. To be
Yeah, but
about the American Army force, whatever you want to say about government.
But
Because
without,
you have a homosexual dude being like the second in command of the entire place.
yeah, we need to talk about that after this.
You have a black woman being
Yeah,
the main, like, driver, which is weird. You don't have a when there's a driver in a series, it's usually a dude.
yeah,
And she's the first one to step on moon since America launched Neil Armstrong or whatever his name was.
it's great to be black on the moon.
Shitty way of using that bit, but I like that they shouldn't have put that black thing in there because that pointed out too much.
Yeah,
but I know why they did it because it was funny.
It was funny, yeah, and that was also a thing. Yeah, let's talk about how they did progressiveness right. They didn't force progressiveness in anywhere. It was it just came naturally. Like, they didn't make a thing out of him like, oh, I see you, black lady, is my driver. Oh, that's so good. No, she was just the driver.
Exactly.
And he even,
I like that.
And he even, the first interaction they have, she's a little bit insensitive, and he snaps at her and then apologizes with a pineapple. I thought that was funny. I don't know why, but it was funny. He sent her a pineapple.
Makes no sense, but that's what.
I wonder if that's a reference to something. But pineapples are funny. I don't know why. I like pineapples. They taste good and they're fun. I don't know. They're funny.
They're funny. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're funny, but
another How I Met Your Mother thing. They have the whole pineapple thing, which we never find out what it is, but it's funny.
Because that bitch just annoys me.
Yeah, because they bring it
in
back
this
too much.
case, I don't care why there's a pineapple. It was just funny, and funny. And then just passes on.
He sent her fruit instead of flowers. Anyway, so we had that. No mention of her. Like, the only time they make a thing out of her race is when her and Dr. Chan are driving to her LASIK surgery, which she has for some. I guess that's ties into her being an astronaut or wanting to be an astronaut, because you have to have
pilot. I don't think you're allowed to wear glasses when you're a pilot.
Well, she had glasses and was a pilot before, so I don't know.
Maybe she wasn't really having a bad vision, but then it got worse.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think that was just to get those two to get some alone time. But that's the only time they do, like, oh, I'm black, so you can't talk about this. But it's very minimal.
Yeah.
And it's kind of
poking together with she's sort of assuming him to be Korean, but at the same time,
yeah, exactly.
I don't know if she does. She's just mentioning K-pop, and then he's like, "Oh, you think I'm Korean?"
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if that is meant thinking that he's Korean or
no. He's from
he's Chinese. He's from Chinese. He's from Chinese. He's Chinese.
Well, no, they mentioned in the show. Yeah, the actor is from China originally.
Doesn't he say that his parents are from Hong Kong?
Oh, right, Hong Kong, right? Yeah, technically,
that's China, right?
Technically, it's China, yeah, but it's a colony. Anyway,
yeah.
And then you have what's his name? John Malkovich. Yeah, like you said, playing the chief science officer, whatever you want to call it. The second in command, basically, which turns out he's gay. And I wasn't sure in the scene where it turns out he's gay. Everyone gets awkward because it's a private video message he has sent to his boyfriend or partner or whatever, where he sings. What's the song? It's Elton John.
Yeah, it's an Elton John song, but he changes the lyrics.
Yeah, I don't remember what the song is, but anyway, yeah.
No.
And when I saw the scene, I thought it was funny because it was cringy because he was making a cute song. I was like, oh, that's well, it's not really funny. It's kind of because they kind of, and I wondered if, because that scene becomes very awkward, and I wasn't sure, are they making a scene where they're outing him, or is the awkward part that he just made up a silly song? I wasn't sure.
The awkward part was more of the silly song and the private message.
I hope so.
And it was the homosexuality.
Yeah, because then once again they have very just organically, naturally inserted a gay in the show, because they
do mention it a few times.
They do that, okay? Because I didn't know before that scene. What did you say?
The Dr. Adrian mentions it himself. He's like, "Oh, so you're uncomfortable with the way I dress or the way I walk? Is it too?"
But is that?
I don't know if he mentions.
Is that before or after?
For you? That's before, I think.
It is? Okay, then I missed it. Then it was so subtle, I missed it, and that's great.
Same episode, I think.
Oh,
but it's before the video.
Okay.
And I mean, they mention it when he's like defending himself from Warburton, because Warburton mentioned something about his outfit, and he's like, "Well,
all right,
or something."
Exactly. He
so he has that sort of stereotypical sass, and he has a bit of that. He has the stereotypical style sense, which they do mention multiple times. They do make a comment of his outfits sometimes, and he asks. Well, Naird asks him for help to get a tie or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So they mention it, but they don't say it out loud.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, then once again,
they do it subtly and discreetly and just naturally. So that's such good writing.
Yeah,
naturally insert
because
both homosexuality and race, and
because those things aren't just, they're as natural as anything else. So why make a big thing out of it?
The only time they make a thing out of someone's nationality or race is when they realize the Chinese are in front of them, and Kat and Dr. Chan is suspected to be a spy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only time. And he kind of brushes that over with another actually kind of stereotypical thing that sort of disappears. He's like, if you check my computer, the only thing you're going to find is the beauty of black women and Asian men in couples. Which then I don't know,
becomes a thing when they go for her LASIK eye surgery. Yeah. So it was all, I like that the progressive stuff felt natural. It didn't feel forced at all. None of it.
No.
I thought that was great.
Yeah.
So
another thing though, actually, that sort of is progressive, but which they don't mention at all, is that the only two kids that joined the Spaceforce out of high school is a white dude who's ginger and a Mexican.
A white dude that is ginger.
That bit wasn't the progressive part. I was just mentioning that he's ginger.
Yeah, but he's kind of... Because gingers aren't... Gingers, I mean, they're white, but they're gingers. No, I'm kidding.
No, but because they have everything. You have the ginger, you have the gay dude, you have a black girl, Chinese dude, you have a Mexican, and then of course you have the cookie cutter white American with the dark hair, and that's Duncan, but he's stupid and he's just in 3 scenes in total, I think. Yeah. Well, no more, but.
Which one?
He doesn't say much. Duncan.
Oh, Duncan.
The sort of stupid brute that doesn't really know much and can't do much, and he's just license, please. I think he does that 3 times, asking for people's credentials.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to.
Yeah.
He doesn't know why, but he's supposed to.
But he's in more. He's in a lot of one episode when he hangs out with the daughter character.
Yeah, but that's
how they make him a character.
That.
And in the end of the show where he gets arrested because he tries to stop Grabiston from getting into the base.
Because he asks for his credentials.
well, yeah, because it's his job, but he's also doing it out of respect for Nerd and the Spaceforce.
True. That they have every single character you can imagine.
Yeah.
Without even trying, it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. It all feels natural.
It's not like this doesn't seem like they wrote it for that type of person. They just sort of hired one, and that just fit the place.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do know they probably wrote it for that type of person.
Yeah, probably.
But it feels so natural, and I like that. I really, really like that.
Yeah. So, overall, I thought it was a good show.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, like once again, it wasn't the funniest show I've ever seen, but I liked it more as a drama than a comedy. Not a drama as drama, but as a drama, as a story. But I didn't like where it ended because, first of all, that it ends on a cliffhanger like that, and it also ends with the astronauts being stranded on the moon without a base.
Yeah.
Like, it should have ended on a happier note.
Yeah.
Which it first does when it turns out that the wife, Lisa Kudrow, has escaped from prison with the guard who she fell in love with.
That is just extra weird.
That was weird, but at least it was funny and a happy occasion, even though she's probably...
Like, the last half of the last episode is just straight up weird.
Yeah.
Because the first half is when they get to the moon and all that, right?
Yeah.
Or is that even the episode before, maybe?
I'm
not sure. They kind of merge together.
They leave in the 9th episode, but I think they actually get to the moon in the 10th episode.
Because when they're up there, it's like, hey, we're at the moon. They succeeded. They did the mission.
Yeah. That should have been the end.
Jolly good. But then you kept going, and it's like, oh crap, that happened. So they're stranded. Oh crap, Aaron gets kidnapped. And oh crap, Graviton takes over the Spaceforce.
It was a little much in the end.
Could you not have skip the kidnapping?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that Graviton was appointed to take over.
Grabiston.
Whatever.
Anyway.
Was appointed to take over because, I mean, Ned kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
Because they rushed it, but he rushed it on orders, so...
Yeah, well, he managed to put a moon base up in, I think it was 3 days or something instead of 4 years. So, it's something.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. And it should have ended with that. Instead, they ended it with 4 catastrophes at the same time, and you don't get a solution for 3 of them.
But it's so they have a lead-in to a second season. But I gotta say...
You could have a lead-in without having them being stressed. I mean...
No, but
the lead-in could have been okay, so what are they supposed to do on the moon?
But that's not how you write a cliffhanger.
No, but you didn't need that much of a cliffhanger.
No, but you need a cliffhanger if you want to make people tune in for season 2. But I gotta say, for me, now I'm very particular when it comes to TV shows or series like this. I'm not interested in the second season now.
No,
because it's gonna start in such a
catastrophe.
It's gonna start off bad somehow. Like everyone's in a bad place, in a bad mood, and I didn't want that.
This season starts off with okay, so we didn't get what we thought we would get, but I mean,
we're making the best of it.
Exactly, we're making the best of it.
Yeah.
Season 2 will start with, shit's hit the fan. How do we clean this up?
Yeah, and I'm also worried because it kind of was reminiscent of the second season finale of Rick and Morty, Now, the first 2 seasons of Rick and Morty, I don't know if you've seen, you know about the show, but I don't know if you've
I've seen episodes, but I don't think I've seen enough to know what you're talking about.
It ends, spoilers, I don't know, do you care?
No.
I'll keep it vague, but still.
I've probably seen it, I just don't remember it.
Yeah, first 2 seasons are great, and the second season ends with Rick being arrested by, like, the universe police.
Oh, right.
Who, like, they police the entire, all multiverse.
Yeah.
And because of all the crimes he's committed over the first 2 seasons and before that, in all different dimensions, times, and universes. Like, and instead of, like, shooting his way out of it, or, like, making up some sort of gadget to get out of it, or kill off every police in the universe or anything like that, he realizes that he is the one, like, ruining the lives of the rest of the family. It's growth.
Oh, that's right.
It's a growth for the character, and he just willingly goes along with them, gets put into prison, and the guy next to him, because he's, like, sitting on, like, a wall or something, like, hey, what are you in for? And he says, everything. And I was, whoa! And it ends there. Now that made me like, I really want to see what happens with this, how the show continues when Rick is in prison and the rest of the family has to deal with that. I thought that was super interesting. Problem is, the 3rd season started with him breaking out of prison and blowing it up, and now it's all fine. I'm back. Hello, let's continue with the weird episodes where we just go to different planets and worlds and
the character growth that he did in the last episode is
it's basically gone. They mention it back and forth. I mean, the parents are still, like, separating, and they're having, like, couples therapy and stuff like that, but it's very, like, secondary, and it's just about more shenanigans with Rick and Morty, and, like, but that was not what you set up in the end of the 2nd season, so they ruined all, like, tension and drama. And I feel like the only way they can fix this in Spaceforce is, like, they have all this drama now that they set up, but they're just gonna have to, we fixed it, but gone. It feels like.
Well, some of it they might.
And I'm not interested in that at all. I might be completely wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but it feels like that.
No, I agree. It feels like they're gonna try and do that. Like, when we come back, they've just fixed the moon base or something. We don't get to see how.
Yeah.
And if we're unlucky, they're gonna brush over the fact that the mother escaped prison. Yeah. But that would just put more, because that bit's already weird. Like we said, it's just weird. We don't know why she's in prison. It's just odd.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to have. So don't. If they do it again, if they just brush over the fact that you were in prison, but now you're out. No. They cannot do that. That's a detail they at least have to mention this time.
Yeah. Yeah,
the whole thing where Aaron gets kidnapped was totally unnecessary. The only reason for that was for him to escape, sort of.
Yeah. But that was a character thing.
Yeah, didn't need that either. But then that one day just finished as well, because, she got rescued. But this didn't really need a 2nd season, to be honest.
No, but you have
to. It would have been great as a mini show with one season.
Yeah, a limited series. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you can, you gotta write more seasons, because you can milk it for more money.
Yeah. Well, I hope they play more on the Yuri Bobby character then.
Oh. Right. Yeah, he kind of gets, which they set up. We know he's a Russian spy from the first season, the first scene he's in. He's like not really stealthily taking pictures of everything and asking for blueprints.
That's the one thing they could have evolved. I mean, when the Chinese got first to the moon, I was like, I didn't see the flag first. I just saw red. I was like, oh, is it Russia?
Yeah, I thought it was Russia.
Yeah, that would have made more sense to me.
Yeah, that would have made more sense, because they had a spy.
But then they would have actually had a spy to find, instead of suspecting Dr. Chan and eventually
Mallory.
Dr. Mallory.
Yeah, but also that character, Yuri Yuri.
Yuri Talatovich.
Yeah, but he calls himself Bobby. Yeah, Yuri Bobby. He kind of disappears a little bit.
he gets replaced by Duncan, sort of.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, well, what? But there's still a Russian spy on the base. Shouldn't we do something about this? I don't know.
Because I think the last time you see him is when she's working at the Acai place.
The Neil Armstrong.
The Neil Armstrong. And he's like, so what's your daddy's maiden name and what's his first pet and something.
Yeah,
something.
when he's being very forward and uncouth.
Maybe he's being pressured to find some info, or else they'll bring him home and he has failed his mission. But
after that, he's gone, basically.
Yeah. Hello. And then Duncan starts having conversations with her instead.
Yeah. So that felt like something they should have.
Hopefully, they evolve that in the next season. Then.
Yeah. But now he feels like he was kind of written out of the show. Oh. Wow.
But he's the only person Oh, hello. He's the only person I actually want to know more about right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be part of the second series.
No, that's.
And we'll see if there is a second season. Like, seems to be kind of middle of the road for a lot of people, this show. And I know that they have ideas for a second season, but that Netflix has not greenlit it yet. I mean, yeah.
And maybe they want to see how well this goes first.
Yeah, but usually they do that after like the first couple of days. Because they're like, 50 million people watched one episode, we'll make another season.
Yeah, but they released this one at a really bad time.
Yeah. It came out just before all this George Floyd stuff started happening. So, yeah, not the best time to release a show that is subtly political.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I just think it's quite like people don't have time to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, partially that, and also any show that is even remotely politically charged right now is not gonna sit well with people, I think.
No.
On either side of the spectrum.
No, probably
so
not.
We'll see. As much as I like this, I'm not super excited for season 2. I would have rather seen a limited series or like a movie. I think they could have made a movie out of this. Just cut out a couple of episodes. Yeah.
Cut out a few characters. Cut out a few events.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Yeah.
Would have probably made for a better movie as well.
I think so. Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
but I think we're gonna wrap it up there. Thank you to Luke White Sucks for hanging out for the last 3 minutes. Sorry that you found us in the end of the podcast, but it'll be up tomorrow on my YouTube channel, which is linked down there, so you can watch the entire podcast. So be sure to do that.
Leave comments.
Yeah, leave comments. What you thought of the show. Hopefully you've seen it before you're watching this, because this is the spoiler cast, as you can see. And yeah,
you didn't actually spoil the entire story though. For once,
no. It's 5 hours of story. Yeah, you can't spoil the entire thing, but we definitely spoiled the ending. And the beginning,
and a lot of details.
Yeah. So huh?
Yeah, well,
okay.
That's the Spoilercast for you.
Yeah, that's the Spoilercast for this week. We'll see if we're back next week. We gotta
figure out something to watch.
Gotta figure out something to watch. Yeah, now we're really starting to. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff on Netflix, but it's not all interesting.
True.
So
no,
we'll see what we'll do. But like I said, if you wanna check this stuff out on YouTube, it's on my YouTube channel, which is linked down below. Be sure to hit the subscribe button for that, and follow us here on Twitch as well, so you get the little notification when we go live. But until next time, have a good one. Bye. All right, I gotta do this as well.